Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News.
Good afternoon from WKYT News. I'm Barbara Bailey. Bill has the day off. A Fleming County murder suspect is expected to answer to the charges against him later today. Kevin Howard was arrested in Lexington last night. He's charged with murder, theft, and evidence tampering. Police say unidentified remains were found in the Grange City area last week. WKYT's Mark Barber has the latest now on the investigation. It's our top story at noon. Mark?
Lexington police say after state police advised them to be on the lookout for Kevin Howard, they gave his picture to officers. Investigators tell me that's how an officer spotted him walking near the New Circle Road and Russell Cave intersection last night. The 37-year-old is charged with murder, tampering with physical evidence, and theft by unlawful taking. According to his arrest citation, he caused the death of Randall Russ and moved his body to a grave on Ringo's Mill, Grange County Road, and burnt a mattress with intent to conceal it from the authorities. Russ was a University of Cincinnati professor who had been missing since August. He is the second man charged with murder in a Fleming County missing person case. In addition to the charge of murder, 55-year-old Charles Black is also facing tampering and theft charges. Police believe both men could be connected to the unidentified remains of a man that were found in the Grange City area on October 1st. According to Black's arrest citation, he told police he helped someone remove a body from his house and put it in a shallow grave. He also admitted to driving the victim's vehicle and using the victim's ATM card to withdraw $200. Police say that vehicle belonged to Randall Russ. Black is scheduled to appear in court today for a preliminary hearing. As for Howard, he is being held at the Fayette County Detention Center. In Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Now, Charles Black declined our request for an interview at the jail. Family and friends will honor Lexington's latest homicide victim later today. Police say two masked men broke into a home on Addy Alley early Sunday morning and shot Darnell Bates to death. Tonight's vigil is at 8 o'clock at the car wash on North Limestone, where Bates was recently promoted to general manager. Well, we certainly hope you enjoyed yesterday's break from the rain, because more showers and thunderstorms are back in the bluegrass today, and they're expected to last through the weekend. WKYT meteorologist Jim Caldwell is live in our First Alert Weather Center now with an early look at the forecast. Jim?
It is pretty active out there right now, Barb, especially down to our south, close to Somerset and into Monticello, dealing with a decent little complex of showers and thunder showers. A lot of lightning coming out of this, and this complex also has a history of producing at least some small hail. Light rain falling from parts of Fayette County all the way back down toward Danville, and then of course you get into the complex where it's a little bit heavier, and that's where we're going to go check out first. You can see some of that lightning really start to light the skies up there across Wayne County. Some heavier rain now closing in on the folks there in Somerset and right over Lake Cumberland as well. Heavier rain over Russell Springs and even more on the way. This whole area continues to move pretty much due east here. So the folks there in Somerset seeing a little more on the way. You go into Whitley City and you go into Williamsburg. All of those locations seeing some rain here shortly and some heavier stuff. Also tracking some activity out in Moorhead. This is the beginning. Several days of this are on the way, Barb. I'll have a whole lot more on that coming up for you in just a few minutes.
All right, Jim, thank you. Well, people in parts of central Kentucky are still surveying damage from this week's twisters. The National Weather Service says 8 tornadoes touched down in 7 Kentucky counties Tuesday. EF1 tornadoes were confirmed in Bourbon, Scott, Harrison, Bath, Pike, and Oldham counties. In Owen County, an EF0 was confirmed. WKYT's Sean Moody shows us how the cleanup efforts in Bourbon County are continuing.
Woman you heard from yesterday who was actually sucked out of her kitchen by the tornado. She was underneath all that debris you see behind me. Today, the people who live here are trying to figure out their next steps. This is the first up-close look we've gotten at the Claysville neighborhood. Most of the houses here have some kind of damage. We're told 7 or 8 of them may be uninhabitable. Today, people have been coming back, getting repair work started, or if their houses are too bad to live in, getting their things out. Cleanup crews are trying to get the debris out of yards. Insurance companies are taking a look, and contractors have already gotten on the roofs to patch them up. It was raining here about an hour ago. People are hoping they can get their holes repaired before they get too much water damage inside. One woman I talked to said they're all getting through this together.
Neighbor helping neighbor over here, honey. It's one big family and everybody just pitches in and they, you know, help each other.
And power was restored to most of the houses here in Claysville late yesterday. In Bourbon County, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Sean, thank you. Now, workers from the fire department are still surveying the damage. Investigators have identified a father and son who died in a head-on crash in southern Kentucky. The coroner says 68-year-old Pallas Anderson and his son Samuel died after a crash on US 27 in the Pine Knot community. Police say a Chevy Trailblazer crossed the median and slammed into a Buick. The driver of the Chevy, 29-year-old Shay Coffey, is in critical condition at a Tennessee hospital. The coroner says the crash was not weather-related. We're still waiting to learn the name of a person who was killed in a semi-crash in northern Kentucky. Police in Kenton County say a car hit a tractor-trailer that was parked on Interstate 275 east at the I-75 split in Erlanger. It's not clear why the driver of the semi was stopped on the ramp. Fire crews are still trying to figure out the cause of a fire that destroyed a central Kentucky horse barn. It broke out just before 5 on Combs Ferry Road in Clark County on the Fayette County line. The fire caused the barn to collapse, but luckily no animals were inside the barn when the fire started. A neighbor called in the fire after seeing flames shooting into the sky.
As far as we can tell right now, the barn was under renovation. Been having a lot of work done around the barn, and the neighbors advised that they was probably doing some work inside the barn as well, that it was in disrepair. So at this point in time, we're guessing maybe electrical fire maybe might have started the fire.
Now, firefighters are still trying to get in touch with the owners of the barn. A Libertarian candidate in Kentucky's U.S. Senate race could find out today if he can take part in next week's highly anticipated debate. A federal judge is scheduled to hear arguments about whether David Patterson should be included in the showdown. Patterson sued Kentucky Educational Television because it did not invite him to participate in Monday's debate between Senator Mitch McConnell and Democratic challenger Allison Lundergan Grimes. He accuses KET of excluding him from the debate because of his political views. The Fayette County Health Department is preparing for this year's flu season. Officials will be giving free flu shots later today to anyone who wants to protect themselves against the virus. WKYT's Rebecca Smith is on the UK campus where students have been getting vaccinated all week. Rebecca?
Students here at UK are getting their flu shots today until 2 o'clock this afternoon. It is that time of year again, and here they say they've seen a massive increase in the amount of people coming through wanting that flu shot.
One reason for the increase is that, according to the university, all UK healthcare employees must get vaccinated this year. It's the first year for this mandatory flu shot. One third-year physical therapy student we talked to said she normally doesn't get a flu shot, but has to get one this year.
I try to stay healthy. Also, washing your hands all the time is a big thing, especially in between patients and that kind of stuff. So that's other preventative measures that I like to take.
This clinic here today at UK was only open to students. If you're interested in getting a free flu shot, you can swing by the Amani Family Life Center on Georgetown Street in Lexington. There is a flu clinic that goes from 4 o'clock this afternoon until 7 o'clock this evening. From UK's campus, Rebecca Smith, WKYT.
The CDC says that every year 5 to 20% of Americans get the flu. And even though the two are separate, UK hopes that increased awareness of Ebola and enterovirus will lead to more flu vaccinations this year.